What's up, gentlemen? This is Rising Phoenix Podcast, a podcast about how to rise up after your divorce. I'm your host, divorce coach Michael Rhodes. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to the show. This is episode 104. This is a solo one. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to talk about. I mean, I have some ideas and I have some things on my mind, on my heart, and I just felt compelled to get on here and express some things. I had an idea to talk about some things, trust, anger, bitterness, happiness, actions to take, things to do. I think I'm going to get to some of those. I wanted to read a few things, pull some stats in that, but just don't have it in me right now. The truth of the matter is I'm really struggling in life. And not because of the divorce so much. I mean, it's been 3.5 years. The divorce is final. The money thing, I think, is pretty well finalized. I mean, the paperwork has been written up for the 401k transfer. The cash settlement was paid out. The kids are 50-50 custody. It is what it is. It's water under the bridge at this point. And I know that for some of you, that's, unfathomable. Like, what do you mean? Like, how could it? And obviously it still affects my life. I see my kids half the time. I do get lonely, of course, but I'm not seeing anyone currently. But I just stay busy, but not in a, let's stay distracted kind of way, just in a, I got shit to do. Clearly I'm a busy fella. The coaching thing is going pretty well. I've signed my 9th client. So that's pretty awesome seeing men go through that program and see them grow from beginning to end. Man, there's nothing like it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it for a living. I sure would love to, but I don't know. But when I factor all of these things in, running the Facebook group, and that's a large part of that is approving people to come in. And so sometimes it takes quite a while for men to get in, and I apologize for that. It's basically a one-man band. I have some guys to help out sometimes, but it's not a lot anymore, and that's okay. It is what it is. I ain't mad at anybody. We all have lives. We all have things going on. It's hard for me to find people that I trust, and we'll get to trust, I think, to run that place or to do the approvals. So there's that is time consuming and overwhelming at times. Dealing with some of the people in there is sometimes not fun, we'll say. So there's that. There's the Discord server where, again, I pretty much do just letting people in. And again, it takes time. I do verify people. And I don't think, knock on wood, we've never had a breach in the Discord server. It's a great place. But I think there can be a tendency at times for certain people to get in there that are just bitter and angry. And I'll get to that in terms of the anger and bitterness thing. So there's that. There's also the coaching program that I run. Right now, I think there are 4 active men in the program. Again, it's really fulfilling, but it does take time and effort on my part. I'm happy to do it because I love it, and it's not a lot of money. $750 for one person, and right now there's 3 people in that have paid that amount, I think. You do the math, like, it's not, I'm not buying a Lamborghini anytime soon. But it's emotionally rewarding, like incredibly emotionally rewarding, but it is a drain. And then I have a real job, which is very stressful, much more stressful than I anticipated. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. That's been since November, so that's stressful. And then of course, I have two daughters, and I have to obviously half of the time do every single thing for them in terms of cooking and cleaning and that kind of stuff. They do help. They do pitch in. My oldest is 14, so she does laundry and stuff, but it's not without prodding and asking. Maybe I know what my ex feels like. And making sure they get up for school and get ready and have clothes and all these kinds of things. Even if you know the oldest does laundry, again, I have to remind her, or we have to make sure it's we fold it and get it in the appropriate bedrooms and whatnot, and dishes, and I have 3 cats because I'm a crazy cat dude. Apparently, never intended that to happen, but that's a thing. And there's a kitten who likes to shit everywhere but the litter box if the litter box isn't cleaned every single fucking day. And there's 5 litter boxes with 3 cats, so I am overwhelmed, and I don't. As I mentioned in episode 100, I can tend to be black or white, and so I'm having a little bit of that moment right now where it's just like, okay, this is just too much, and something's got to go. But again, I'm black or white right now. I think I just started with a new therapist, so I think I've had these discussions with her. And when I say I'm struggling, I'm having panic attacks, and I've never had panic attacks in my life. I'm just that overwhelmed. I am stressed to a point beyond what I've ever been in my life. I think this feels more stressful than any time in my life. And some of it is really good stuff. Clearly, the job is probably the biggest stressor, but it pays the bills very well. So if it wasn't for that, you know, I mean, I guess I could do podcasts all day long, but then that also, probably end up homeless. So, I can't, I don't, sometimes I would say lately, I've had thoughts about how sustainable is this, and this meaning the podcast and the Discord server and the support group and the coaching program. I don't know. I know that all of those things are pretty rewarding. It's pretty awesome to get messages from guys that are thanking me for the podcast. It's pretty awesome to have guys come in my program and see them grow through that program. It's so rewarding, but I just don't know if it's ever going to be able to make it possible for me to do it for a living. I don't know. Now, that said, I'm not really doing any marketing, advertising. It's because I feel kind of weird about it, because someone the other day in the larger group posted about how he was looking for a divorce coach, and like people, not, I shouldn't say people, one particular person basically shit all over coaches, and it's like it's the same things I have thoughts of too in a way, but I'm not trying to fucking bilk anybody out of their hard-earned money. I think I survived this divorce stuff pretty fucking well, and did a lot of learning and growing, and the things that I teach are things that helped me. And so I think it's a good program, but I get the sort of like, I even feel it. I don't, I mean, what ads have I run? I've done 2 episodes of the podcast out of 100, and now this will be 104. I've done 2 fucking episodes. So I'm not exactly on any fucking billboards screaming, "Hey, I'm a divorce coach." I guess I am, but in a very, shy is not the right word, but maybe in a very incognito, maybe even way. Those that know, I guess if you're a listener, but I don't put it out there. And so maybe that's part of the problem why it couldn't be sustainable, is because I'm not putting myself out there enough. But like I said, I'm not really comfortable with it. So if that's the case, then maybe this isn't for me. I don't know. I always assumed that eventually I would gain more and more comfort, but is my mental health going to be able to sustain everything that I'm doing in a way that's going to allow me to get comfortable, right? 6 months, a year, 2 years from now, am I going to be able to sustain this? I don't know anymore, honestly. I don't know. I know that I am feeling very overwhelmed, and that sucks. And I wish it wasn't that way. But I'm not making any proclamations. I'm not saying I'm walking away. Although I do find it funny that in episode 100, I did say, like, I don't know, maybe I'll only do 104. Well, here we are at 104. I don't think, and this, I promise you, like, if you, this isn't like some kind of attempt to get you to tell me that you don't, that you really appreciate me or anything. I mean, I would appreciate that, but I'm not, it's not what I'm doing, man. I'm just trying to be honest and say I'm struggling. It has nothing to do with divorce or relationships. It has to do with the amount of stuff that I'm trying to do. And I don't want to stop any of it. Because, that whole like cliche, well, even if I help one person, well, that's fucking true. And so that larger, so what could I walk away from? That larger Facebook group. But then I wouldn't be able to reach as many folks. And even if it's, there's almost 7,000 men in there, it's, maybe it's 5% that hear me. I don't know. Maybe it's 10%, but it's worth it to be able to help any percent. It really is, because, man, I fucking remember when I went through it in the beginning, I didn't have anything. I had Chris, right? There wasn't me out there, and I'm not saying I'm fucking special, but take a look around. Who's doing what I'm doing? I just don't see it. Maybe I'm missing it, or maybe, and if that's the case, then maybe I can walk away with some kind of like, well, I'm not the only one, but there's a few here and there, but nothing. I just don't see what I'm doing. I don't, but maybe I'm missing it. I don't know, but that's where I'm at. But anyway, the real reason I don't know. I just felt compelled, but honestly, I think what I wanted to talk about, there was a post yesterday in the Facebook group about trust, and how, and you see this post from time to time, how they can never trust again. And I thought about that. And first of all, I don't, sometimes we focus on things that I don't think are really that important. If you're trying to heal, I don't think worrying about trusting folks is something you should necessarily worry about. When you start, when you make strides, when you grow, when you start getting back up on your feet, so to speak, and then you start dating and you're in you start to get into relationships, then yes, that you're gonna have to answer that question. But I don't think trust has anything to do with them or what was done. I think it has to do with, are you healed, and can you allow yourself to be hurt again? That's trust. Because make no mistake, if you're a human dating a human, and we all are, right? I don't think there's any aliens listening. Maybe that would be fucking weird. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. They are going to do. Now, obviously, I'm not saying it's going to be the severity of what occurred, a divorce and whatnot, but it's for sure going to happen. They're going to hurt you, period, point blank. They're going to hurt you. And the question is, are you able to handle that and process that and move on from that? Or are you going to either let that bring you back into your past and then punish them doubly or in any way or whatever, right? Like sort of apply what occurred in the past to the present, but which, by the way, is incredibly fucking unfair. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, and no one's perfect, and I get all that shit, but I don't think it's very fucking fair if you didn't handle your shit and you're still bringing it out and putting on a new person, and that's shitty. The other thing that you can do is just treat them shitty, period, because you still haven't learned how to deal with hurt, right? So maybe you're you're sort of healed from the past, but you haven't learned how to deal with it in the present. Like, and it's just going to happen. You're going to get hurt, period. And it's shitty. That's a shitty part of life. But what is that? Stupid. I like quotes, but some like sayings are a bit annoying to me. But it does make sense. Like dance like no one's watching or whatever. Love. I forget what the fucking you all know it. I don't remember it because I don't fucking like it. But it has a point, right? If you're not willing, and listen, these are your choices. If you're not willing to get hurt again, then you'll probably not find love again, and that's your choice. And who am I to say what's good or not? I just think that it's not fair to you, for sure, and it's certainly not fair if you do get into another relationship to not give them your all, because if you're not giving them your all, and I don't mean like put them on a fucking pedestal and like I'm not saying grovel at their feet, and I'm just saying being open and honest, being vulnerable. That's what you owe someone that you're in a relationship with. If you're going to be with someone, then fucking be with someone. Open yourself up. Yes, you're going to get hurt, no question. Will you get hurt again in this manner? I sure fucking hope not, because if you've been listening to a lot of these episodes, it's going to give you some fucking tools on how to not do that. You should know by now that if you're having issues, you should be in therapy. You shouldn't be putting your shit on somebody else. So if you give the silent treatment, go fucking fix that shit. And I can say that because I am the guy that gave the fucking silent treatment, and I'm not going to do it again. At least I hope so. I mean, I'm aware of it. And so if I do, I'm going to try and not do it. Right. I'm going to, and work with my partner, whoever she may be. But I think that if we don't overcome, then they win. And what does that mean? So I'm talking about, if you stay angry and stay bitter and stay untrusting and stay closed off, then not only did they do the initial damage that they did, but they're doing the damage for the rest of your fucking life. And you're allowing it. We're allowing it. If we don't figure out how to deal with this, and get over it. And I don't mean that in a flippant, like, just get over it. I mean, do the real fucking work of dealing with pain, of sitting with it, of learning how to process it in the body, of journaling, of not taking your hurt and pain and then dumping it all on somebody else. It's your fucking pain. You deal with it, process it. Did she hurt? Doesn't mean you can't express that I was hurt, but you do it in a way that isn't confrontational and shitty like we did in the past. And don't fucking tell me that you didn't, because I'm sure you did, because I did, and we didn't have any of these tools. We didn't know any of these things. That's why we're fucking here. Even if they did everything wrong, we still fucked up somewhere along the line. And more than likely it was our inability to process our fucking feelings and sit with them and then present them in a way that was able to be for it to be palatable for them, so that they could take it and process it in a healthy way and work on it. You can do it together. And maybe I'm fucking crazy, but 51% of marriages don't fail. And I know there's some pessimists out there like, oh, well, they're probably fucking miserable too. Yeah, sure. Everybody's miserable. There's no fucking point to life. Why don't we all just fucking walk off the edge of the flat earth and get it over with? I refuse to believe that life can't be good. I refuse to believe that we can't be happy again, or happy, period. I refuse to believe it, because there are people that are happy. And quite frankly, I don't even think happiness is the goal. I think people think it is, but what does that mean any fucking way? Like, I think our definition of happy is skewed. So I think let's shift and talk about happiness a little bit. Yeah, I was reading something the other day, and I should have probably brought the article up, but it said, if you try to be, it was a study that essentially said those that try to be happy become unhappy because they can't ever attain it, because they don't know what they're looking for. So what the article suggested was, I think it was either be curious, or I think it was curious, because that will get you involved in different things, and you'll be out doing things, and you'll be getting into things and experiencing things. I think that's what life's about, man. It's about experiencing things. And if we're bitter and angry, are we ever going to have any good fucking experiences, like to our core, that we really enjoy? Or are we always going to be closed off and miserable? And here's the thing, that some of you and I'm sure some of you are going to think I'm calling you out, but I'm not naming any fucking names. But some people I see, they say they do the work, they say the right things, but they're not. You're not really doing the work, and here's why. And again, I'm not on a high horse. I've never been on a high horse, but if something that is said in this podcast episode or any of the episodes, and it makes you angry, the infidelity one aside, maybe, but if I'm telling you that you need to heal and not be bitter, and that pisses you off, guess what? As they say in the South, a hit dog hollers. So you're getting hit now because you're being hurt by my words, because they're ringing true, because the fact is certain things still trigger you. Now, we all have triggers, and I understand that, but I'm talking about this particular thing, this particular divorce. If you talk about, if the talk about divorce in general makes you angry, as someone was posting in the Discord about, oh, it's all, the system's fucked and it's all skewed, and why would anyone do it? And is that like, if that's your focus, bitching and complaining about what marriage is or isn't, or how it's shitty for men, or it's a contract that people can break and they bend it, I don't know, who fucking cares? You don't like marriage, cool, don't get married again. What about your shit? What about that? What are you focusing on that you need to work on, that will make your life better, that will allow you to not be triggered by something? And some of you just don't do the work, period. You just don't. This is what I've been seeing a lot too, and this is why it's so hard to get. Nobody really wants to deal with their shit, period. Nobody wants to deal with their feelings and emotions. Nobody does. And here's what happens a lot. I see it so fucking much. I've been doing this now 3.5 years. I've been in around these divorce support groups, running them for about, I think, 2.5 years now, something like that. Guy he's distraught, he's miserable, he gets pissed off and angry, and then he has a girlfriend. And then he disappears, and you never hear from him again until 5 years later or so. Now, I haven't seen this come back around in terms of, I haven't seen guys go from bitter, pissed off, angry, girlfriend, married, divorced. I haven't been around that long enough, but I've seen bitter, pissed off, very, very sad, pissed off, angry, girlfriend. And then they disappear. Seen it all the time. See it every fucking, not every day, but certainly frequently. I'm fucking telling you, frequently. And so because they're chasing that happiness, which isn't a happiness either, by the way. No one makes you happy. You make you happy. But anyway, and so they focus on that, and then they disappear. And then the help that they did get in the beginning, they don't get back. And so why does this matter? Why do I complain about it? Because I probably do it a lot. I don't know, because I think we should help each other, for fuck's sakes. Like, as men, we are killing ourselves at an incredibly high rate. We're so fucking lonely. How many of you listening are so goddamn lonely because you don't have friends? But what have you done to actually make friends? Have you gone to some type of support group? I have tried, and I know I'm bitching, but just fucking bear with me. I know I have tried to get local groups off the ground. And there is a guy who just the other day, he posted about how lonely he is, but he's in a group that has 14 other fucking men. And I'm not saying it's his fault, but there's 14 other men around him that are going through a divorce or have been through a divorce, and nobody's reaching out to anybody. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. The only explanation is they're focused on not helping their fellow men or man. They're not. And I don't know. Maybe I should, and I say this all the time to the guys in my coaching program that are struggling with dealing with an ex. She's never going to live up to your expectations. And so maybe that's the path I have to take here. Maybe I just have to understand that 105 men a day are going to kill themselves in this country, and that's just the way that it is. But that's so goddamn sad to me. But what can I do? What can I do? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying. I'm not a quitter. I don't like to quit things. I mean, I'll quit a fucking job if it sucks, but I'll always have another one lined up. But I don't know. And then so I look at this big picture and I go, I'm stressed the fuck out. And again, I promise you, I'm not saying any of this for any of you to reach out and be like, no, bro, you really are helping. If you want to do that, that's great. I would appreciate it, because I appreciate it when it happens. But all that I'm doing, is it worth it? Is my mental health worth it? And I tell guys all the time, your mental health is the most important thing, period. And honestly, right now, my mental health is suffering. And it's honestly largely because of my job, but I can't quit my job because it pays and provides a roof and food and clothes for my children, and not just child support. I'm not talking that. I'm talking in my home. I have a home because I have a fucking job. So is this sustainable? I don't know. I honestly, for the first time, I've had thoughts about quitting the larger Facebook group, but this is the first time I've had thoughts about walking away from all of it, because I had a panic attack. I was on a work trip in Montreal, and I was in a minivan taxi, and I was in the very back. And I'm a big fella. I know a lot of you have never met me, but I'm 6'2", 222 pounds, give or take, on a good day. And I have a bit of claustrophobia. I am learning, and I was in the back of this minivan, in the back row, in the middle, two females next to me, two captain's chairs in front of me, and I had a fucking panic attack, and I didn't fucking like it, and I don't want it to happen again. But it keeps creeping up on me. And of course, I can do things to prevent some of these things. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not saying I'm going to walk away, but I have to figure something out. And of course, like I said, I'm working with this new therapist. Obviously, I've done podcast episodes on this shit. I do some of these things, right? I know to work out. I know that absolutely positively helps. And I do that. I love working out and hitting the sauna, or sauna, as I like to say. If you're not in my coaching group, you're not getting that silly ass joke of mine. But so I know to do some of that. I do try to meditate, but I gotta probably get more serious about some of these things. And so one of the things I teach is this sort of block of weeks where it's like, okay, what is the problem, and what actions can we take? And so that's where I'm at. So I identify the problem. It's fucking stress, right? That's causing my anxiety. Anxiety, as I understand it, is a fear and a loss of control, right? You're afraid because you can't control. And when I'm stuck in a fucking minivan, I can't control. I can't get out. I can't be free. Like I'm stuck. And if I were able to lessen, I think it was Alex, the neuroscientist, talks about this. If you could lessen it, and I think other people too, but if you can lessen it overall, then your cup isn't as full, and then those moments the cup won't spill over. So I'm trying some of that stuff, or I will be. Like I said, I got the new therapist, and we're going to try some things, and I'm going to continue to try things on my own. Like I said, the gym is really, there's nothing better than working out and then hitting the sauna and just sweating for like 20 minutes and just, I always come out of that feeling much better, but I can't always do that every day, right? It's just, I just can't. Sometimes I just don't fucking want to, if I'm being honest, because I'm just like, fuck it. I am tired. I'm exhausted. Mondays and Tuesdays, I have my kids, and that means, dinners, dishes, laundry. Get up to my little one's 8, so I got to get her up for school. I got to make her breakfast. I got to make sure her lunch is packed. I got to check with her. Do you want to buy today, or you want to pack today? And if she wants to pack, then I got to make her lunch, and I got to make sure she has a snack. What do you want for snack? Here's the choices. And it's not like, it's like, it's not like I'm going to run out to the fucking store if she wants a particular thing. I'm like, this is what we have in the house. What do you want out of this? So, make sure she has a water bottle, because they need a water bottle. Make sure she's got her teeth brushed, her hair's combed, and her Invisalign. She wears those plastic fucking braces, and make sure that shit's in. So it's just, it's a lot. And then dinners, and making sure, shit, did I get out shit to defrost or not? Or fuck, I don't have anything in the house. Like, I didn't go to the grocery store last week because I was fucking busy. Well, I guess I gotta order from fucking Noodles and Company for the 900th time, or whatever, right? It's all these stresses are just overwhelming me, and the only ones that I can legitimately walk away from is all of this stuff. And I got to tell you, my mental health would be a lot better in some ways, but I would absolutely miss doing the podcast. I mean, I enjoy the reason I'm helping, and I get messages and I love them and I appreciate them. And I thank you if you do send them, and you don't have to. I'm just saying when I get them, I fucking love it. But I love interviewing people, man. I love interviewing really, really smart people and saying, well, what do I do when this happens? Or, well, what about this problem? I see this all the time. How do we handle that? I fucking love that because I am smart enough to know that I am not that fucking smart. So I can ask other smart fucking people and they can tell me the answers because I don't know. Especially around mental health. Like I'm learning, and clearly I know more than I did 4 years ago or whatever, but I enjoy the podcast so very much. And even this, I'm going to feel better once this little rant is done. I guess if you can call it a rant. I don't know. I don't care what you fucking call it, to be honest with you. But it's making me feel good, I can tell you that. And so the fact that I'm able to come on here and express myself and be heard is so important to me. But it's also, I don't think I can just do solo episodes. These are much less stressful. I love interviewing people, but it's so hard sometimes to not only find somebody, well, you guys know how I do that, psychologytoday.com, but to schedule everything. I got to write an email and reach out, and then they respond, and then we got to figure out, okay, there's probably, I don't even know, 8 to 10 people that are in varying stages of scheduling that I sometimes I just get overwhelmed and I'm like, fuck it, I'll get to them later. And sometimes I just don't. And sometimes they get, I think, frustrated because it's hard sometimes to figure out what works. Sometimes it's really easy. And that's awesome, but sometimes it's not. And so that takes it out of me too. That's another little nugget. And then forget all the other shit. Like when I put an episode out, I got to edit, upload, and do the transcripts and all the other shit that comes with it. I don't like that. In fact, episode 103, I haven't put out a flyer or I don't know if flyer is the right fucking word. I haven't done an Instagram post or a post anywhere announcing, hey, here's episode 103. I haven't done that. I haven't uploaded a blog post with the transcript. I don't enjoy that part, I can assure you. And there might be other ways that I can find different software that can do it all in one. Like I think it's called Player FM, is sort of a Zoom transcription editing service all in one. But I already spent money on fucking Zoom and Otter, which does the transcript, and what's the other fucking thing that I pay for? The editing, FilmShare or Wondershare, Filmora. That program, that's a monthly. Every fucking thing's monthly nowadays. It really sucks, but I mean, I guess I shouldn't say everything's monthly because I think Zoom is not monthly. I think I paid that. In fact, I looked the other day because I was like, well, maybe if I switch to the Player or maybe it's to switch to Player FM. But I looked at Zoom, it renews in December. I'm not sure about Otter, but that's not monthly either. FilmShare definitely is, and Quicken is, but that doesn't count. I need that though. And so I guess I could make some of these switches, but I'm like, well, fuck, I paid for Zoom in December. So I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just, at this point, I think I'm just kind of fucking ranting, but I guess I'll end with, I'm stressed out. I'll be okay. I know that for sure. I'm not announcing that I'm quitting or anything of that nature. This isn't some kind of, it might sound like woe is me, and maybe it is. I don't know. I don't care I'm just expressing myself. So if it sounds like that, then so fucking be it. But it's not an attempt to solicit some kind of sympathy. It's just I'm just being honest with you and saying this is where I'm at, and I hope that I can figure it out. Maybe I just need to take a break, but God, I don't know. I don't really want to do that either because I do like doing this shit. It's just how much can I take? I've never had panic attacks, and I don't recommend them to anybody, but that shit was scary. It fucked me up for the entire night. Like, just, I can't even really explain it. Like, I just felt like out of body the whole night, just like disassociated and just like this weird foggy feeling in my brain. And just, I don't know, man, it was shitty and I'd like to avoid it. So that's where I'm at. I hope you were well. I hope none of this was was negative or hurtful. It wasn't meant to be. Just expressing myself and trying to get some relief for myself, because I know part of healing and good mental health hygiene is expressing yourself. So that's what I'm trying to do. So that's it for this one. I guess I'll probably get it out this evening. It's May 3rd at 11:03 p.m. I'll probably put it out this evening. And yeah, I hope you're well. If not, reach out and get into the Discord. I do recommend it. It's a great place. We do meetings in there. I haven't done meetings in a long time, and that's a source of a little bit of guilt, but man, I can only do so much. And honestly, I had an experience with a member, and he just soured the whole fucking thing for me, if I'm being honest with you. He really just, yeah. I mean, he doesn't come to meetings anymore, I don't think, but and sorry, I know I shouldn't, because probably everybody that's ever been to one of my meetings is going to be like, is he talking about me? I doubt that he listens, honestly. He's one of those guys who quickly moved on, got a lot of support, especially in the beginning, and then eventually just kind of walked away. And is what it is. So all right, I'm done. I'm out. I hope you're all well. Like I said, if not, reach out. All right, take care. Much love. Later. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Since my separation in July of 2019, I have done an incredible amount of work on myself. I've had many different therapists, life coaches, and went through different programs. I've taken all that I've learned and put it into my own program called Forged by Fire. If you are interested in having me help you navigate your divorce, please hit my website, risingphoenixdivorcecoach.com. I look forward to working with you.